Yeah, it's always funny when you like see somebody. This is back when we were like in our 20s. See somebody at the bar with like just a mustache. I'm like, yeah, you either work in the industry of like you guys, or you're a firefighter.
Yeah, it takes a special kind of dude
to just rock just a mustache. Just a stash.
Yeah.
Or the third option.
Well, there's that.
See, why you got to do that? Why you got to ruin it?
I didn't ruin anything.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, jeez.
There's certain relatives of mine, DJ, that their favorite part of the podcast is you and me berating each other.
Is this right?
Well, I mean, thankfully we have episodes that's just dedicated to that. Essentially, whenever we do Star Wars,
we got to do like a compilation.
Yeah,
we'll have to like.
Oh, jeez.
I'd have to spend a few hours.
That's going to be a lot, dude. Like you need a day off for that shit. That's a lot of time you're gonna need.
Just the other day, I listened to the year-end review. One just for shits and giggles, just to brighten my day a little, and I forgot about the Puerto Rican spirit animal thing, and it was the first time John heard it in person.
I had not laughed that hard.
and I think I said to you, like, they're not remembering the joke, and then John's a Puerto Rican. And TJ goes, we're back. In the DJ way. That I can't imitate. I can recall the words, but I can't imitate DJ's cadence.
Yeah.
No, that's something special right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years of practice.
Question.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask.
Are we recording now?
We probably are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm assuming we have been, yeah.
We're in it now.
Well, are we gonna intro?
I mean, I guess I probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time.
Do you have a question for us, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you hold that. I'm going to do the intro, then we'll circle back to that.
Let's do it.
You said we were recording for what? 5 minutes? You said. Nice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, we did a sound check. We're professionals. We're doing great.
Paycheck.
Okay. Let's do this shit. All right. Anyways, welcome to Quiet Takes Podcast. We are back at the Panel Network. So we're back on video again. And this time the audio is going to work. So you're all welcome. If you're new to the yeah, right?
Brandy cast a spell.
Whoopsie poopsie.
I did. So behave.
Okay. Anywho, so if you are new to the podcast, thanks for checking us out. We are a history podcast. Do a little bit of mystery, a little bit of music, but some listener suggestions. Which, by the way, I checked the list. We have like 5 of them we need to do.
Do we?
Really?
Yeah, I completely forgot I wrote them down. And we got to get on that. So if you are a listener that sent us a topic, we will get to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Our bad.
Wait, where'd they come from? The email?
Some of them were in person. Some of them were just text messages. People have sent.
Oh, okay.
I think somebody left a comment. Mo was the last one that hit us up. Like our friend Mo.
Oh yeah. Mosif.
Yep. So he got dropped off one. That's what reminded me, like, oh yeah, Mo had a topic. So I wrote it down and then wrote down who told me to write it down. And then I'm like, oh yeah, there's like 5 more of these things. So yeah, our bad. Anywho, so if you are a returning listener, this is our 3-year anniversary episode. So
Woo!
Yeah, that's something.
It's pretty cool.
3 years.
3 years.
Guys, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, we actually stuck with it for 3 years. Look at us.
It just flew by.
It kind of did, honestly. Like a lot has happened personally, but the podcast has remained. So that's something.
Charlie's gone.
Yeah. Way old Yeller.
He had rabies?
Have you seen him?
Clearly.
He doesn't monitor what he puts in his mouth.
It's possible. Yeah.
Anyways.
It's quite possible.
Jeez.
He's not active enough for rabies.
We haven't made fun of Charlie in a while, actually.
That's my point. I miss Charlie. One of the things we lost.
Never forget.
R.I.P., I guess.
R.I.P. Charlie.
It's Armadillo Awareness Month.
Jeez.
Damn it.
Okay. We're just going to keep this moving forward now. Where was I? Yes. Returning listeners, 3 anniversary, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, since I don't know if we're going to do a party this year. I mean, like, Foreign Local's hasn't reopened yet.
Oh,
so we don't have a beer for this year.
We don't have a venue.
We don't have a venue this year. We have the Panel Network, though. That's pretty tight. So here we are. Hey.
Yeah, we gotta do something, At least,
at least it's something. We'll figure out. We'll try to work out something. Everybody's been so damn busy, man. I just
honestly
don't have the time. And unfortunately, with Foreign Local not being reopened yet, the obvious venue for this.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
we could probably find a different venue, but like
We could, but that takes effort.
takes a lot of.
And they don't even know yet
Yeah.
when, right?
We usually try to do it around this time of the year.
No, when they were going to be open.
When they're-
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think so. I know they're doing their anniversary party or something soon.
Oh, okay.
I saw an ad for that. They're doing some
Yeah,
kind of
they're doing something at 18th
8th Street. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. But anyways, yeah, I'm not sure when they're actually, officially open. When they do, I will definitely inform the listeners because I think we all just kind of support them, just like they support us. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's love, and the love is mutual, and the love is deep. So
Put that on a Hallmark card.
yes. Excellent. So, so thank you all for 3 years. It's been something. It's been a journey. It's been fun.
Yeah,
It's been interesting. A lot of laughs.
it's been very interesting.
A lot of laughs. A lot of weird conversation.
I only remember like a third of it.
Well, thankfully Ben re-listens to it, so like he just like brings
Yeah,
up
that's
randomness. Like he'll bring up the random things that we've said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
DJ's only awake for a third of it.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Well,
I'm
thankfully,
looking at you, motherfucker.
What's the movie where the guy like tattoos his eyelids?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And they're in the
God.
meeting and
Yep.
he opens his eyelid and everyone gets scared. It's like, oh shit.
yep.
I know the scene. I'm
It's like
drawing a blank,
strange
though.
something.
Strange Wilderness? Oh,
Yeah.
God. That was that movie?
Fuck yeah.
Shit. It's been a while. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. Back to the intro though. Let's probably finish that so
We're
we can
so
actually
bad at this.
it's in our defense, it's late
It is late. This
It's a
is way
Tuesday.
later than we normally record.
hours
Yeah.
later than we normally record, which is fine. We're being hosted, so it's not like I'm gonna sit
Yeah,
there and complain about it. But like normally I'm on my couch right now eating my snacks and watching some TV. Like that's pretty much where I'm at. So
Yeah.
and it's been a long day at work and shit. Anyways, not the point. Gonna stop complaining about it. So, returning listeners, yes, the people that we are here for, and why we're doing this. We just want to thank you. So thank you for being supportive for the
Thanks.
last 3 years.
You guys
Yeah.
rock.
Thanks, guys.
And the usual: drink some water, tell your loved ones that you love them, and as per usual, you get your forehead kisses. It sounded crispier than normal.
Oh.
It sounded good.
Yeah, it was good. It's been a
Sounded
while.
good. It has been. Well, yeah. It's been a while since it's been a
Yeah.
surround sound. It's been monotone for quite some time.
Yeah.
It's been mono for a
Yeah.
bit, so it's fine. But yeah, like we figure at least we do something special. And the Panel Network was kind enough to have us over here again. So if you haven't followed them on socials, follow them on socials. Follow them on wherever you listen to, or YouTube. You guys are mainly on YouTube. There's your
Everywhere now.
Oh no shit, you guys have
Nice.
upgraded. Hell
That's
yeah.
cool.
Good
Oh, yeah.
shit. Hell yeah. That's nice. Right on. I had no idea. I'm used to just YouTube for you guys. Right on.
Buy everything.
Okay.
It's the way to go, man. It's like,
Yeah, it is.
everybody uses something different.
It's true. Though that's why we're on everything.
I was like, just carpet bomb it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have a service that does it for
Yeah.
us. I just got to post it one place and it just distributes it, so it makes it easier. But we do have listeners on pretty much every platform too. So,
Yep.
I mean, our big ones are still Spotify and Apple Podcast, but we have like iHeart has subscribers. I think people subscribe to us on like Pandora, which
We
is
do. We have Pandora
Yeah, that's
listeners.
wild.
We have people who listen to us on YouTube.
we do have YouTube listeners. Now they get to see us again. That's
yeah,
nice.
they get to see us again. What a nice surprise for that, like 2 or 3 YouTube listeners. What's up, guys?
Hey, you know what? That's fine. We love them just as much as everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got some big goals for this year too. So we're gonna work on that. I know followers is our big one. We're going to do another push. So please follow us. If you haven't already followed us on whatever you're listening to us on, give us a follow. We have a lot, but we want more.
We're greedy.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah.
No, we're trying. There's like a threshold that once you get past this threshold, you can start, getting ads and sponsors and stuff like that. And that would help us grow and do more video content and do more fun stuff like this.
Make
So,
things better.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, because this has been coming out of our pockets for 3 years now.
DJ needs wallpaper. Very badly. If we can get Susan Streisand in here to
He needs wallpaper.
That's such a random thing for him to need.
Yeah, why does
What am I, fucking 90 years old
why
now?
does he need wallpaper?
look at the glasses you're wearing and ask me that fucking question again.
And also, your dad does live with you, actually. This is starting to actually build a case for this.
Yeah, Hunter S. Thompson.
All right, I stand corrected. I did forget I was wearing.
Fear and loathe my foot up your ass.
Yes. Anyways, what's the question for the day? As we gotta get this thing on the
Yeah,
rails.
absolutely. So I was thinking about this because we're talking about this as a topic. Have you guys ever taken revenge on somebody or had somebody take revenge on
Why
you?
are you picking something admissible in court?
I mean, because like the first story that I thought about, I do not want to tell on the internet. I was young and very angry.
Oh, okay.
It was
So Patreon?
Yes.
honestly,
Yes.
honestly, the Patreon could catch the story.
Okay, so I do
Yes.
have a backup question if you guys don't want to get into that, since you guys are fucking criminals, apparently.
I didn't say anything.
I'm not a criminal,
I said
but what
nothing.
I did was so not okay.
The longer I live, the harder it gets to get back to those stories, though.
We'll talk about this on
What's the
Aftertaste.
backup question?
Okay,
Which one?
me and Aaron are actually having this conversation. We got wings like a couple weeks ago, something
As
like
we
that.
do.
Food question?
And I got boneless wings just because I was like, I don't feel like dealing with the bones.
Yeah.
Whatever. And he got his regular wings. And I was like, do you think there's more meat on the boneless wing
Yes.
than compared to the
Absolutely.
regular wing?
Absolutely.
I think it depends restaurant to restaurant.
That's
what I was
true.
gonna
Where
say.
they're-
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it could be like tiny little boneless wings, but then like really big boneless
That's true.
wings.
Like
it depends who their
fucking-
vendor is.
Like B-Dub sucks. Like
If
their
I'm being
boneless wings
honest.
are
Yeah.
Oh, their
But, like-
boneless wings are nuggets, dude.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking dog shit.
But like
It
in
is.
general, I think boneless has more meat.
Yeah, I think I would agree for the most part. But then there's some places you go to, like fucking Bombers or something like that, or like Cobra Lounge. Like if you get wings from Cobra Lounge, it's only like I think 3 wings, and it'll cost
But it's
you.
like it's the corner though.
it's the whole ass fucking
Right.
wing. It's the drum and the fucking the wing connected together.
I got a question for you now, actually.
Oh,
Between Cobra Lounge and Reggie's, who do you prefer wings from?
Reggie's,
That's a good answer.
yeah,
Carry on.
absolutely.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember Buffalo Louie's?
I do not.
Wow,
No?
that
Do you-
sounds familiar. Was that
There were a couple of them. The one by me was on 45th in Port Duluth. Well, by me as in Highland, but
Yeah, no, I don't know that. Yeah.
yeah, they had.
Sound
Never even heard of that
familiar.
before.
Well, never mind.
Thanks for nothing.
I'll keep my core memory to myself.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all, dude. What was it called again?
Buffalo Louie's.
Buffalo Louie's.
That does not ring any bells.
Yeah,
to me.
not even.
You're
a
the
little
one
bit.
that surprises me.
Yeah, I'm about to say, B, you grew up in Highland,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, doesn't ring a bell.
Huh. Interesting.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I got nothing, dude. I never was in Highland until I got older.
We'll go with the first question. So the nun's ass that I kicked.
Oh, man.
Oh man, yeah, that would be a good Patreon episode.
Yes.
Yeah, also,
I'd
I
have
didn't
to-
mention
I'd have
that
to think
before.
on that.
We do have a Patreon as well, the Aftertaste, which we need to record one. It's been a little bit.
It has been a while.
But it's $1 a month, though, all
Yeah,
right?
we
Like,
really
it's
do.
$1. Give us a
Come on,
You know,
guys.
Yeah,
it's
It's-
$1. Like,
it's premium content.
you can't get anything
It
for
is.
$1 anymore.
Not even
Already
wallpaper. Not even wallpaper.
not even a mixed mickin', man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't even think you can get an Arizona iced tea for $1 anymore.
Yes, you
No,
can,
you
actually.
can.
You
Can
can
you?
get the cans.
The cans
If you don't
are.
get it in the plastic
Yeah.
bottle, you can
They
get a
made
can.
it a point.
Staying strong. I like it.
Yeah, dude. It's the CEO of Arizona has been safe for quite some time.
Yes, exactly.
Because of that, actually.
Say the Costco guy too.
Didn't he step down?
Well, when he stepped down, he was the one that says, "If you touch the hot dogs, I'll fucking kill you."
I love that.
Hell
Pretty
yeah.
sure. I'm pretty sure it was Costco.
Somebody, I saw a
it was.
video about whether like a Costco membership is actually worth it. Like if you actually save more money by paying for a Costco membership and shopping there. And the one thing that actually made it worth it was the hot dogs.
No,
like
that's
if
hilarious.
yeah, because they're so cheap that like
I have
if you get a hot dog every
many
day
Wizzies.
for like 2 weeks or something, you've already like paid back your Costco membership.
the higher tier one, and that sounds about right,
Yeah.
actually. But honestly, like those damn all beef hot dogs, though, them things are fucking ridiculous. Like, it's the Kirkland brand all beef hot dogs, and it comes in like a thing of 3. But it's like so it's 3 separate packs of hot dogs. But dude, they're ridiculous. I love them. I have like 3 packs in my
Yeah, I don't
freezer.
think I
Right.
had them before.
I have 3 packs in my freezer right now. Next time you're at my house, you can take one home with you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Dude, I have a Costco membership and I live alone. Like, I have 2 fridges,
Do
thankfully.
what you got to do.
I just mooch off of my friends' Costco memberships.
I used to
That's what I do.
for quite some time.
I can't afford. Are you kidding me? You can afford a Costco membership.
Apparently, I'm an aristocrat. Because, I'm just over here with my own.
Guys, subscribe to our Patreon so I can afford a Costco membership.
She needs those rotisseries.
I need a hot dog.
Costco memberships and wallpaper.
Yep. That reminds me, I don't know if, Steve, you remember this or not, but when me and Jess were there and we ran into you, and I don't know if she said it or if we had already done it. We were looking around the store because she had never really been just had time to look around. And we were looking at the clothes and she's like, you want to go stare at the rotisseries? Right?
Stare at the rotisseries?
Yes.
Like
I'm
how
not sure
people-
if she said that in front of you or if okay. Okay, I wish it was.
Just buy them.
I
Take it home.
You do.
Like how people used to stare at TVs in the street
yes.
and storefronts?
Yes.
Just
Yes.
I used to. So,
And we did.
did you guys ever go to Boston Market?
Very romantic.
once I hated it.
I used to
love it, actually.
Boston Market.
I used to love
Rest
it.
in peace, Boston Market.
It's
But
gone? It's
if-
dead?
I thought there was
Yep.
still one left in there.
Fuck yeah.
Not that I know of. Nope.
I fucking hated that
What's
place.
the matter with you?
I fucking hated that
What'd
place.
they ever do to you?
It gave me terrible food. What else would they do?
Every time I ever went to Boston Market, their food was phenomenal. But I remember if you went in to order, they had the rotisseries behind the counter, and you could just watch them. And I would be ordering, waiting for them to get my food together, and I'm just like,
This is why you and Jesse to hang out together. Just go off.
it's a little mesmerizing.
She has her own Costco card now. I just go with her and you guys stare at the rotisseries all day.
Perfect.
All sorts of at-home hypnotists with chickens on the end of chains.
I mean, I get it.
It's a weird concept when you think about it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just stick a metal rod through something and turn it slowly, roast it.
Maybe I should have picked Vlad the
It's like a
Impaler for my
weird-
guy today.
It's just a weird concept.
Oh, dude, Vlad the Impaler would have been a great topic for today.
I passed him up.
He had such a good revenge story.
He did, but he can be a whole episode.
That's true.
That's our
Yeah,
topic
on-
for
on
today,
its
by the
own.
way.
Well, I mean, I used to kind of wait to say the topic of the day. That I realized it's in the fucking title, so
It is
people are
in
gonna
the
see it
title.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know what they're signing up for.
Yeah.
They know what this is.
Who wants to go first?
That's a good question.
You want to do some rock, paper, scissors?
A 4-way rock, paper, scissors.
Little Rochambeau.
We did not discuss any of this before we started recording.
No,
today.
we probably should have.
We usually do.
We
We're usually
usually
a
do.
little bit more organized.
we're,
than
out,
this.
we're out of our
Yeah.
settings.
Again,
We're out of our home court.
yeah, I'm out of my house. Put on sweatpants. for
Let's have
this.
Steve pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's put
Who do
him
you
in the
wanna
hot
hear from
seat.
first.
Yeah, fuck all y'all.
Fair enough. Go off.
And for the record, that did not go the way I thought it was going to go.
Well, that's what you get.
Oh, yeah, I do. I have a guy named Ken Rex McElroy from over in Missouri. And let's see here. So I have it in kind of a story format. July 10th, 1981, Ken Rex McElroy was shot and killed in Skidmore, Missouri, in what became one of the most baffling cases law enforcement had ever encountered. The slaying took place in broad daylight, witnessed by numerous townspeople. Yet, despite the sheer number of onlookers, solving the crime proved impossible. The residents of Skidmore collectively refused to talk, and to this day, officials remain unsure who ultimately ended McElroy's life. It is the most complicated Irish last name to say, too, when you see how it's spelled.
McElroy?
Yeah, like sooner. Yeah, it's and I'm not the only one. You know, you hear people talking about him, and they'll say
Is it
McElroy.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah, and a couple. Yeah, like people screwed up because there's an E in there. Oh, and yeah. Anyway, so if I do that, my apologies. So, born in 1934 to a family of destitute migrant laborers, McElroy dropped out of school at 15 and swiftly gained a reputation as a top-tier menace. He survived by stealing cattle and committing petty theft. Yes, in the 20th century, stealing cattle. Okay. And petty theft, amassing an extensive list of suspected crimes that include swiping gasoline, grain, livestock, and antiques.
People steal cattle. Don't you watch Yellowstone?
Anywho,
I was just like, I had to exhale that because I was waiting for Bendis to throw something. I felt his blood pressure rise. You guys have to ride together.
He's too sensitive. You're too sensitive.
I'm sensitive? You want to have this out now?
See? I can't say anything without him freaking out.
Again, that whole idea for the dash cam for you guys riding to wherever we
I love
record
it. I love it.
No, I was fine today. He was in a great mood.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. Can't touch that one on air.
The Patreon for why Ben's in a great mood.
Oh man.
Anywho, so you really are rubbing off on me.
This is how you bring it back in, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, so despite repeated allegations, McElroy continuously avoided conviction by employing intimidation tactics. He had a knack for coercion, using fear to silence potential witnesses, and a skill that benefited him for years. So this guy at his final weigh-in was like 270 pounds. Hopefully I wrote down his height here somewhere because it escapes me at the moment. But he's a 270-pound man.
It's a big boy.
Tall. Not abnormal though. Like that was the other thing. Like it was more of like a presence, and he definitely traded on stories of things that he's done in the past to kind of what would you call it? Bank it with his size.
Oh,
You know, if that makes sense. So
I also feel like we've talked about this dude before. Now this is all starting to ring a bell for me.
I've never spoken about this guy.
Not on air, but I
Yeah.
thought we might have talked about this in person.
Oh, maybe. Actually, the only reason I'm doing this guy is because you guys took my favorite revenge story, and that's 47 Ronin. That's my favorite
yeah.
revenge
That is a
story.
really good revenge
That's
story.
my favorite revenge story
That
of all
was,
time.
that was a good episode. If you
Yeah, it
guys
was.
haven't heard that episode, go back and listen to it because that was really interesting.
yeah, that was a solid.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah. Oh, we've been around 3 years now.
It wasn't that. It was like last year, wasn't it?
No, I think it was first year.
Runs together.
No.
I truly think it was first year.
I'm gonna look this up.
2/3 is gone.
Keep going.
So
We have 100, damn near 150 episodes of podcasts. Like,
you know what
it's
would
Yeah.
super help is if they were numbered.
so
the last time I tried to do that, it broke the entire system. All right, I don't want to hear it. All right, I will easily give you the password. And you go in and try to do that shit. I'm not doing that again.
McElroy's future wife, Trina McLeod, entered his life at just 12 years old. Him being 20 years older.
Ew.
That's the appropriate answer. His so-called courtship involved relentlessly trailing her school bus, honking and shouting until the driver stopped and allowed him to take her away.
What?
This whole town was fucked.
What the fuck, man?
Wait, what year was this?
I'm not sure what year this was,
You said it was
but
like
he was born in
19
34 and he was killed in 81. So
So not long enough ago for this to be
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Or
Well,
even
it's
I don't
also-
think there was
it's
ever a time
normal.
period this was okay, but
it's
yeah.
also Missouri.
50s,
Missouri.
something like that. You know?
Yeah.
So-
this story, like, either I'm having just massive deja vu, or maybe
Dude, you and I probably watch the same YouTube channels.
we probably do.
Yeah,
Carry
honestly,
on.
and I would chalk it up to that.
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest.
probably true. Yeah.
And at 14, Trina gave birth to their first child. According to court documents, she tried to flee and return to her parents, but McElroy tracked her down and forcibly took her back to his home. Even Trina's parents were too frightened to stand up to him. When they refused to let him marry their underage daughter, McElroy allegedly retaliated by killing their dog and setting their house on fire.
I've heard this before. Wait a minute.
Yeah, we're all
hell,
having
man?
flashbacks to this. Like,
You're welcome.
Wait a minute.
He was charged with statutory sexual assault.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the new thing, right? You got to cover
Well,
up
yeah,
the
yeah.
word.
Essays or.
yeah. We
yeah,
don't want to say the
Yep.
word.
What?
Yep.
Just
We're-
what you're saying.
You're
We
good.
we just don't want to say the word
Oh,
for
well, I thought I covered up the word.
Yeah, you did. You're,
Oh,
you're
okay.
good. I'm just saying you're fine.
All dancing
Go
around
past it, God damn it, just go.
Yeah.
Arson and assault. Trina and her baby were placed in foster care, but McElroy, enraged by their separation, retaliated once more. He would park outside the foster home, threatening to abduct the family's biological daughter unless they returned Trina in what he chillingly referred to as a girl-for-girl exchange.
What?
We're not done.
Jesus.
Trina later claimed that McElroy successfully married her in 1974, allowing him to evade prosecution for impregnating a minor, because that's a loophole, apparently.
I know this story.
As long as
I know this story.
As long as she was his wife, the law no longer seemed to apply.
Yeah, there's a lot of states that are like that. Like if you're married,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, everything go out the window. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, prohibited from testifying against a spouse. McElroy moved Trina into the home he already shared with his common-law wife, Alice. Despite his legal marriage to Trina, he continued fathering children with Alice. Altogether, McElroy had 11 children with 3 different women. Although Trina later retracted some of the accusations that had led to McElroy's multiple indictments, his notoriety for lawlessness was well documented. One of his more audacious crimes occurred in 1976 when he allegedly shot a farmer named Henry. Henry had confronted McElroy for firing weapons on his land, on Henry's land. And rather than backing down, McElroy responded with gunfire. As he awaited, meaning he shot him in the stomach, if I remember
so
right.
he heard
jeez.
gunfire and then retaliated by shooting him in the stomach.
Yeah, he came to talk to him and then just
Right.
went, no.
No.
As he, this is the one part of Missouri that nobody else had a gun to just solve all these
I
problems.
was like, this
Like,
entire thing could have been solved by a gun.
very early on.
The whole story
Very
didn't have
early
to
on.
happen.
Like, I got so mad reading it, just thinking like, my kid is not going off with
Right?
somebody.
Are you out
like
of your
I'm
mind?
going, and
They're
I'm
big?
perfectly
Yeah.
comfortable putting my words on this legally. I'm going to kill
Yeah,
you.
kneecaps first.
Plain and simple.
Like,
Like, I
It's
am
just-
going to kill
It's so
you.
weird to me that the parents were just like, "Oh, but he's scary." Like,
Yeah.
screw you. Are you kidding?
Like
Right.
it's over. You have yeed your last haw. You are you are going to die if you're talking about a family member of mine. Like, I'm
Like
not
the-
letting somebody I
the
care about
moment-
run off.
The moment that
or not
man
run
would have
off, be
like
dragged off.
honked at my daughter's bus, I would have been like, "Oh, you're done. You are done, sir. Goodbye."
Yeah, any civilized part of the nation, like it's what. And again, it's Missouri. Like these,
Right.
Yeah,
There's
what the hell?
Missouri.
like I know there's guns in all of these houses. You're all just cowards. Or some sort of weird hippie commune that nobody discovered until later. But anyway,
I just want to have a conversation with this girl's dad.
I don't know that you do.
Like, what is wrong with you?
I don't know that you do.
Pretty sure he's very dead at least. So
Well,
that'd be
that's very true
Well-
now.
get a
good.
Ouija board, I guess. But
Oh, also 47 Ronin was September of 2023.
okay, so 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That still seems way too short.
Yeah.
Time
Anyway.
is whatever.
Yeah. So as he awaited trial, McElroy regularly parked his truck near Henry's farm, attempting to intimidate him into dropping the charge. This is a recurring thing with him just like sitting outside of people's property into dropping charges. Henry refused to be cowed, yet his courage ultimately proved futile. When the trial finally commenced, McElroy produced 2 raccoon hunters who testified that he had been with them at the time of the shooting, not on Henry's property. The jury believed them, and McElroy walked free once again.
Yes, no one's as trustworthy as a raccoon hunter.
The town of Skidmore's patience finally snapped in 1980 following the altercation at the local grocery store. Now, I highlighted the 2 big things. There are a bazillion things that have happened in between these 2 things. I would be here all day. The Casual Criminalist actually has an entire podcast episode on this, and it is an hour and a half long, going through
Wow.
everything.
Just
Like,
how much of a piece of shit this dude was.
the sexual assault and whatnot is not a sole instance or a sole victim. There's multiple.
I've
Two-
definitely heard this story before, and he did a lot of
No, terrible stuff. And again, with all the intimidation, he was indicted 21 times and got off free all but once.
Yay, the
Yeah.
justice system.
Yeah, he was indicted 21 times. And he actually had a lawyer. I should have looked it up because I really do recognize the name. He apparently went on over and over saying that he had a mob lawyer. And the last name was McFadden. And he would have been out of Kansas City, which matches.
That actually adds up, yeah.
It does add up. But for some reason, McFadden is and it might be coincidental, but it's a very familiar last name. And I do wonder, and I wish I'd had time to look into that guy. But he was the one that was getting him out of all these charges all the time. This McFadden guy, or getting the charges down to misdemeanors. Yeah. And
I thought you were going to say, like, oh, he went on to be OJ's lawyer. I'm like, oh, that's up.
Yeah, so for instance, one of the
juice is loose.
Yeah, for instance, one of the shootings went from attempted
permanently loose.
Went from attempted murder, very clearly attempted murder, down to basically serious bodily harm. So dropped it down to from felony to misdemeanor, and then still might have walked from that one. I forget, but it's a slew of just what the hell. Anyway, so. Where did I leave off? Patients finally stabbed in 1980 following an altercation at the local grocery store. A clerk mistakenly accused one of McElroy's daughters of stealing candy, sparking a confrontation between McElroy and the store's owners, 70-year-old Ernest Bowenkamp and his wife Lois. McElroy's reaction was as strange as it was disturbing. He offered Lois money to engage in a fist fight with Trina. She refused, but the dispute was far from over. It's wild. In the following weeks, McElroy began stalking the Bowenkamps again. It's a recurrent thing. Just go and
made me mad. I'm going to sit in my truck and stare at them.
Yeah. Frequently parking outside their store with a firearm visible in his truck. The situation escalated in July of that year when McElroy confronted Bo Bowenkamp on the store's loading dock. Two young boys were nearby, so McElroy handed them money to buy soda, eliminating any potential witnesses. Once they were gone, McElroy shot Bowenkamp in the neck. He lived.
So dude's been shot in the stomach and lived. Dude's been shot in the neck and lived.
Yeah, he's bad at killing people.
He's got
really
bad
bad
aim.
at it.
Yeah, he's really. God loves his victims.
He has the only gun in town, and he doesn't know how to fucking use it.
He was arrested and charged with attempted murder, but despite a successful prosecution, he was convicted only of assault. He was promptly released on bail while waiting appeal. To the people of Skidmore, it seemed inevitable that McElroy would once again escape real punishment, but this time the town had enough. A meeting was held to discuss the ongoing threat McElroy posed. What exactly was said remains a mystery, as those present have never disclosed the details. Although I guess it was the sheriff or some sort of deputy, what have you, did suggest a neighborhood watch.
Well, he didn't shoot the sheriff or the deputy.
And when I read that. And when I read that,
God damn it.
I laughed audibly. All right, a neighborhood watch. Y'all been watching.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, disclose the details. On the day of McElroy's demise, he and Trina returned to the D&G Tavern. At the same time, townsfolk were gathered at the Legion Hall discussing him. When word spread that McElroy was at the bar, the townspeople made their way there. McElroy quickly finished his drinks, bought a six-pack, and stepped outside to his truck with Trina. As he settled into the driver's seat and reached for a cigarette, gunfire erupted. Bullets struck him in the head and neck as Trina screamed beside him. No one rushed to his aid. No one called for help. And McElroy died in his truck. Investigators determined that there had been multiple shooters. Bullets came from different directions and casings from two distinct firearms, a .22 Magnum and an 8mm Mauser, which is fucking hilarious.
Like, dude, out of all the things they found,
it's the smallest to the biggest. It's the smallest to the biggest.
But where do they even find these at?
Someone's got a cannon in the background. They're fucking loading up. Bow and arrow.
Like an 8mm Mauser is an 8mm Mauser is what you have coming out of something like a Mosin Nagant.
Right.
And everything. So
I don't know what words you just said to me.
It's
right
a rifle.
now.
It's a rifle you saw it's a bolt action rifle you saw the Russian military using in World War II. And so it's a monster. I mean,
it's a really, really large caliber bullet.
It's a full power rifle cartridge. And so it's 8 8mm is a caliber, so it means it's 8 millimeters around. And it's, oh God, without the casing, it's about that long. So it has a lot of powder behind
Hell
it.
yeah.
It is sailing. And then a 22 Magnum is no slouch either, even though it's small. It's a small bullet, but again, with a shitload of powder behind it. Same thing. It is sailing through that body.
Again, where do they even find these at though? Because it's such a those are random calibers to just have laying around your home.
It's like somebody had a fucking box
somebody's
at
not so
home
much, but
with just
like-
like a bunch of random guns.
The 22 Magnum is the rare
Actually,
one.
that is rare.
The
Yeah,
8
Magnum
millimeter
part.
the 8 millimeter Mauser, those Mosin Nagants have been
Well, they're cheap as fuck.
I would say they've been cheap for so long that
Right.
like and surpluses and what
There were
have
a lot
you.
of
So
Russians.
and also like you brought a $50 rifle to a murder, so
got it out the Walmart.
hey, we're in Missouri. There's a river named after us. Chuck it in there. So investigators. I'm sorry, I already read that part. Yet, despite a grand jury investigation, an FBI probe, and over 100 interviews, mind you, 60 people watched this go down. And not a single resident of Skidmore broke their silence.
I didn't see
no arrests were ever made. Trina later accused a local rancher, Del Clement, of being one of the gunmen, but he never
What the
admitted
hell
to
did
it.
Del do?
I did come across that as to why he was suspected and probably a good suspect about
He
it.
had
But
to be the one with 8 millimeter. Like that was the one people were like, all right, we saw that.
well, he was
Everybody fucking saw that.
he was known for wearing a cowboy hat and heavy drinking. So
Okay,
if
then
anybody
yeah.
had the 22 Magnum, it would be that guy.
Everyone
in
like
my
aims their
opinion.
guns and Dell pulls out this huge. They're like, what the hell, Dell?
Yeah, like, come, we're going to murder this
He's
guy.
like, I've been waiting for
He
this.
said handguns only. What are you
He's the
doing?
size of an elephant. And law enforcement never charged him. To this day, the killing of Ken Rex McElroy remains officially unsolved.
I mean, that's fine.
So yeah, that is my story. But
I mean, we didn't see anything.
it was
Yep.
it was enraging to read some of that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he was a giant piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, no, I can deal with that. Like giant pieces of shit. That's an easy enough equation to solve. Like somebody's parents being scared of somebody else. Just like
It took him a while to figure it out.
my God.
Well, yeah, they had to find the elephant gun.
I feel like they
That's
just
what they were
had
waiting
one.
for?
They had
Oh,
like
yeah.
one box filled with guns,
Yeah.
and they all just met there, and they were just passing them out. Like, here, just take
Because
this.
it's just amazing. Like this, that's the part of the story that just gets me. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah, like you killed the dog and you set the place on fire. Like this is Missouri. I
Right.
expect to be shot.
No,
honestly,
Yeah.
yeah.
maybe not back then, I guess.
If not, then when?
Yeah, honestly,
Now,
like, I'm-
now,
well,
together.
now.
I mean, in St. Louis, maybe, but shit.
jeez, that's just. Never mind. Not touching that. Not touching that.
Yeah.
Anyways, who's going next?
Anyway, I could go next.
I'll
If
say,
you
let's
want.
Well, yeah, you said you
let's-
had a sad one. Like,
I
let's
have
make a.
I don't want to say sad, but it's really fucked up.
All right, let's sandwich that one then in the middle.
You want to
Also,
talk
let's-
about big pieces of shit?
Oh,
I mean, I had a 270 pounder.
I mean, this guy. This guy. His name was Aku Yadav, and he was one of the biggest pieces of shit. Like,
all right.
Also sounds like a condition.
yeah.
It sounds like the villain from Samurai Jack.
He's a villain. He's some sort of villain. He's terrible. Holy shit. Okay. So our story here takes place in, and I'm sorry, this is in India, takes place in India. So if I absolutely butcher these names, I am so sorry. I didn't really listen to a whole lot about this. I just read all of it. So I didn't hear much of it pronounced, but I'm going to do my best. I'm sorry. Okay. So Aku Yadav is from the Katsurba Nagar slum outside the central Indian city of Nagpur, Maharashtra.
Anybody hear that ghost?
I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, again, we're not doing this at my house, so it's not gonna be my house this time.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
It's
Steve, my bad, dude. I don't know if you've ever heard us mention this before on the podcast ever, but if you mispronounce a name hard enough, you're gonna get ghosts.
You're gonna
ghosts.
summon a demon.
You're gonna get ghosts.
Sorry.
So our bad in advance.
Anyway,
Also, an unrelated note, bring Apu back. I miss that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
anyway,
That's just, yep.
He's my favorite Simpsons character.
so
Sure.
One of.
basically, it takes place in India,
Yes.
in a slum in India. And this was a time period of kind of like the 90s through the early 2000s.
Would you define it as the 90s to the 2000s?
The early 2000s.
Okay. I just enjoyed the way you worded that.
What? Why?
This is a time period of like,
yeah.
like the 90s to 2000s.
Well,
Would you call it the 90s to 2000s?
Well, yeah, because he was not so active in the early 90s, then he kind of became more active in the late 90s and then early 2000s. But so this guy was basically like a gangster. He was a extortionist and a gangster, and he started out being like a petty thief. He would just steal from people, but then he was kind of a higher class than the people that he was committing crimes against. So he would steal from these lower class people, and they wouldn't really be able to do anything about it, because if they defended themselves, it was a crime.
So like a
because they
thrill
couldn't-
seeker type, like just doing it for fun?
Well, I mean, yeah, for fun, for profit, for whatever. He was just a bad guy.
Okay. Just because you brought up class, I was trying to.
Yeah, well, there's like classism,
No,
We're
yeah.
rich. They're poor.
Yeah.
Let's go
Yeah.
rob these poor people.
basically.
That
Yes,
sounds
No,
familiar.
and that's why I was asking, like, just for fun or
because he could.
okay.
Thanks, Steve.
Because he could.
I appreciate that look, man. You got me.
Yeah, I felt it.
Yeah. So his crimes included kidnapping, sexual assault was his main MO, extortion, murder. He robbed whoever he wanted. He basically would threaten the women of this town with sexually assaulting them if they didn't do everything that he wanted them to do. If he didn't, he would break into people's houses, take whatever he wanted. If they didn't comply, he would sexually assault them. He also had a gang of probably 50 or 60 other guys who kind of followed him and did whatever he wanted them to do. And he would get them to sexually assault women as a form of control, basically. He would, target specific, if he wanted something from a specific woman's husband, he would target her and have all of his men go in there and just sexually assault her until her husband did whatever he wanted him to do. Yeah.
It's like
It was-
one step away from a cult leader.
Basically, yeah. This guy was nuts. It was often used as a warning to others. He did this to girls as young as 10. He was a absolutely brutal sociopath. He liked torturing people. He didn't murder people very often, because basically what he did was he bribed the police to look the other way with these crimes. But if there was a murder, it was harder to cover up, so he would have to pay the police more, and he was cheap. So
It'd be very,
yeah.
inconvenient.
Exactly. It was inconvenient to murder people, so he just sexually assaulted them. And, I'm not using the term sexual assault to minimize what he was doing, because it was very, very much our wording. We just can't say that because of monetization purposes. Anyway, so he basically was had this whole town of people living in fear for a decade. He completely controlled this slum. He was just an absolute terror to these people. Everyone was terrified of him. Women wouldn't go outside alone. Even during the day, people were afraid even in their own homes, because he would just break into people's houses whenever he felt like it and just do whatever the hell he wanted to.
It's Debo.
Yeah.
But way worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just Debo.
Now, I'm just curious. It doesn't matter, but I'm just morbidly curious here.
Mm-hmm.
Is this out in the Indian sticks? Or, I mean, along the
It was
coast and the more populated areas?
I don't know
or
specifically where it was, but it was a slum within a city.
Slum. Okay.
Yeah. So,
I'm just curious, I guess, how bad it is that he's getting away with it. I guess that's what I'm curious
Well,
about.
he basically had the police in his
Yeah.
pocket, essentially.
Right.
So, extortion was his main source of income. If people didn't give him money or angered him in any way, he would hurt them. His main victims were, again, the people who lived in the slum. They're called Dalits. So they were basically like the untouchables or whatever, where like basically if they defended themselves, if someone came up and like shot him or stabbed him or whatever, they would be the ones who would be accused of a crime. So there was a store in the area that had, they would sell goods out of their home, and he would come by and just take whatever he wanted. And if, the store owners tried to stop him, he would sexually assault their wives and daughters. Yeah. He was very paranoid. He would see like young boys playing games in the streets, and he would break it up because he didn't want boys talking to each other because he thought they were plotting against him.
He fucking should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. He would warn people against reporting his crimes to the police. People still did. People reported his crimes all the time, but nobody did anything about it because they were all either being paid off by him or they were afraid of him. And because sexual assault was stigmatized, it was, women didn't often report that part of it because it was like shameful. So, there was a few women who did report it, and the police would accuse them of being slutty, basically, or having an affair with him, or they would basically just be like, it's your own fault. So that it didn't really work. There was this big thing that I kept running into, which he allegedly sexually assaulted so many people that, according to the residents of the area, a victim lives in every other house there. Yeah. They know of at least 40 women that were sexually assaulted by him and his gang. The youngest being a 10-year-old girl. He did not discriminate any age, whether they were single, married, pregnant, whatever. He would torture them, cut off their ears, cut off their fingers, like crazy shit. This guy was insane. So anyway, I will spare you guys like the really gruesome details. If anyone wants to look into that, you definitely can. It's all over the internet. It's very involved. There's a whole Netflix documentary about it. I'm not going to get into the really gruesome stuff, but trust me, it's there.
What's the name of it?
Oh gosh.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but just since you mentioned it.
I forget what the documentary is called.
I didn't want dead air.
Hang on.
You're like, what do we do in this situation?
That's like the third time I've reverted to the circus.
We gotta like make our own commercials.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh,
Be right
this
back.
is why we need
Yeah.
sponsors. This is exactly why we need sponsorship.
I'm sorry, Brad.
It's called Indian Predator: Murder in a Courtroom.
That's a title.
Yes.
That is a title.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. But
No, it's okay.
if I didn't ask right then, I was going to forget to ask.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So basically what happened was he had targeted a woman, a specific woman who had just kind of like had enough of his shit, right? He sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl, and this woman was going to report him. And he heard that she was going to report him, and so he came to her house with like 40 other dudes and surrounded her house. She locked the door and was basically like, I've had it with you. I'm not dealing with your shit anymore. And he was yelling threats at her from outside her house. He was saying he was going to throw acid on her. He was saying like all these crazy things. And she's like, well, you know what? You break into my house, I'm blowing this motherfucker up. She disconnected her gas line. And she was like, I will light a match. You try to come in here and I will absolutely light a match and we are all going up. Right? So they started outside smelling the smell of gas, and they could hear her threatening from inside to blow them all up. And so all the dudes,
blow this motherfucker up.
basically,
You just hear the echoes in the house. Like,
yeah.
You see lights turning on everywhere. The fuck did she say? Get the kids!
So they hear her outside, all these dudes who are like surrounding her house, and they're like, what the fuck? We didn't sign up for this shit, right? So they all book it. They're all like, nope, not us. And then all of the people in the neighborhood saw that these men who had been terrifying them for a decade were just as scared themselves. You know, they didn't look so tough when they're running with their tails between their legs from a...
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Like,
So the town was like, all right, we can stand up to these dudes. This is, we're not...
Let's blow this whole town up.
basically. So what they did
we're not
was...
calling the walls down.
So what they did was everyone in this neighborhood, right? They all went together and burned this motherfucker's house down.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
let's not blow up our houses.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Let's blow
No.
their house.
They,
Yeah.
they went and they burned his house to the ground. This idiot was like, oh no, poor me. Meh, I need police protection. I'm scared. So he went to the police to be like, protect me from all of these people. I'm scared. I'm a scared little boy. They're going to hurt me. I'm scared. So he's in police custody, right? And all of these people are pissed. They're like, this isn't fair. This is nuts. He's been terrorizing us for years. We've been reporting it over and over again. Nobody's doing anything. And now you assholes are protecting him. Like, what? How does that make any sense whatsoever? Right? So he's in prison for a while. Everyone is kind of rallying. Okay. His like court date comes around. He's being brought to the courthouse and a bunch of people show up. They're saying 600 to 400 women show up to his trial. Okay. He's getting brought into the courtroom. This mob is like getting angrier and angrier. They manage to get him into the courtroom, lock the door. These people break the door down. They lynch him.
Oh, yeah.
They take turns stabbing him.
Single file line.
Yes.
Just-
No kidding. No kidding.
That's what you call Mussolini.
Oh, yeah.
They came in with kitchen knives, with rocks, with whatever the hell they had, and they would
Yeah.
pass the knives to each other.
Oh,
so
hell
they,
yeah.
they
Sharing is
said,
caring.
It's a shiv line.
yeah, they said they wanted each one of his victims to stab him at least once.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So they all just took turns, and the police there were so overwhelmed that they were just like,
Pin the tail on the predator.
yeah.
I mean, honestly.
The police just like threw their hands up in there and they were like, nope, we're not getting involved in this. It was hundreds of women mobbing this man. They stabbed him like a zillion times, bashed him with rocks, cut off his penis.
Obviously.
Well,
I was
mean,
waiting for that.
Yeah.
It was gonna
They
happen.
threw chili powder in his eyes.
Somebody better
to
have had
blind
darts.
him.
Nice.
They just lost it. They just absolutely mobbed and just attacked the crap out of this dude. And yep,
I like it.
yes.
It's a good ending.
So
Hell yeah.
yeah. So the women of this town got their revenge on this one dude who was
Listen,
basically just like a psychotic bully.
Hell yeah.
Must have took a long time.
Oh,
600
I'm sure.
people.
Well,
sure.
you know, you got to be patient.
Everybody
sometimes,
taking a number.
And the
Fucker's
best,
gonna be dried out by the
like-
time I'm up there.
and like the best part about it too was like afterwards there were still men who were like, "Oh no, he must have been murdered by a rival gang because women couldn't have murdered him." What do you mean? Women couldn't have killed someone. They all they know how to do is cook.
Random stoves are being disconnected all around town.
Bullies motherfucker too.
And like the women
The
were
Indian
so
troubles.
the women were so upfront about it. They were like, "We did this. Yes, we did. We killed him. We absolutely killed him." And still, the authorities were like, "Nah, no, you didn't." And so they all ended
Sure
up getting
you
away
did.
with it. They all ended up getting away with it. There was a judge that like some of them got arrested, and there was a judge that they kind of like went before, and the judge was like, "Well, he kind of had it coming."
It's like, do we really got to do this? Like,
yeah.
Can we just bury the guy? Like,
There was no charges put against any of these women. They were just like, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. It was
good
great.
one.
So very, very messed up, very gruesome story, but
Oh, yeah.
very satisfying ending. And
He probably lived too long though.
what?
Or I'm sorry, didn't live long enough. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Oh,
to
yeah.
experience
Yeah, I
the full
was-
wrath of it all.
Because they lynched
Yeah.
him too early, in my
They-
opinion.
they-
At least
yeah.
the way Randy's telling it.
They
You
did.
gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah,
They
you gotta,
did.
You know, get that.
That's what they should have like tortured him for a little while.
And
beforehand.
then,
And then,
yeah.
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 But I think it was just there were
Like,
so
okay.
many.
Like, okay,
that-
we do it now,
a
or
lot.
we do
Yeah.
it now, or somebody's got to take him home and keep him on ice. Not let it go.
Yeah. They also, I think they also didn't want, they wanted to do it pretty quick because they didn't want like police to come in and like break it up or whatever.
Right.
Sure.
So they were just like, so it was mostly women. They said 400 to 600 women, and also lots of men were there
Sure.
as well.
Yeah,
but they
right on.
mostly let the women handle it.
Yeah, I would have jumped in that line.
Sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes there's a little, you got it.
Yep. Yep. So there was a lot more to say about his crimes. I could definitely get into that a lot more, but I won't for the sake of this is also a comedy podcast and not a
Yeah.
depress everybody for the rest of the evening podcast.
Yeah, I think we were all like collectively clenched.
I know.
Like the entire time.
I know, I
And it was
know.
like, oh, okay, the revenge part's cool.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, we're good.
And it was really good. It was really good.
We're good. Yeah. Yeah. I also have a story about a woman taking revenge, but this one's actually it's good.
Yeah?
It's
Okay, good.
Whew, it's
Not as messed up as
no.
mine.
Wholesome revenge.
Definitely not, but definitely justified. So it's a little bit of both. Also, nice call to the Mussolini thing though for the hanging part.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like the whole Mussolini thing. For those that don't know, just a real quick sidebar. I like that he got kidnapped, or not kidnapped. He got captured with his mistress.
Yep.
Not even his wife.
And it was his second time being captured.
And his second time. Yeah.
The dude sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't side with Hitler. Anyways,
He was bad at being the villain.
he really bad with being his
He really was. And he invented fascism, and he still sucked at it somehow.
Yeah. How do you invent fascism and they're bad at it?
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's almost like Microsoft with the Zune.
Oh my God, the Zune.
I own the Zune.
I don't know
I
how
had a
my
Zune
brain
too.
went there, but
I actually still have mine. Oddly enough, I found it in a box when I was moving.
I had a Zune.
Still works.
Because my mom's ex-husband was very anti-Apple.
Oh.
So everyone around me had an iPod and I had a Zune.
I was the manager of a game store and I got a discount on the Zune. So I bought a Zune. And there we go.
Yep.
That is all. Carry on.
Anyway.
All right. Anywho, as we're using today. All right, I got one for you guys. Like I said before, it's a good old she was something special.
I don't know what kind of story we're about to get. But
Well, it's French, so there's that. As our listeners probably know by now, I have beef with the French, but I do love their revenge. Like the French know how to do revenge properly. They can riot properly, and they do revenge.
They don't take no
properly.
shit.
and make
They
bread.
take lots of shits, actually.
No, well, yeah, they
They take
river.
shits.
they do take shits.
They don't take they don't
And they
take
use
shit from
shits.
anybody else.
There you go.
Particularly in the river. That's really
Oh yeah, the shits in the river, and then the whole thing that happened was that last year where they were dumping shit on politicians' doorsteps.
That wasn't
Yeah.
even a year ago.
Yeah.
That was like not even that long ago.
Oh
Wait.
yeah, well the
Wait, what-
agriculture thing
Was that France or Germany?
that was France where they were taking
What? Okay.
they were
Yeah.
taking truckloads of
re-
manure.
Yeah, I
And then they
remember.
rallied
dumping
up
on
for
government.
they rallied up for a holiday to like it was like National Shit in the River Day.
Yeah, no, I
Well,
remember
that
all
was the
that.
Olympics.
But,
Oh,
But
yeah,
I was referring to something else.
yeah, I remember
They
all
used
that.
poop
I just
twice
for
actually.
some reason I was thinking it was maybe Germany with the manure.
One thing France is not afraid of is something that smells really bad. So
Very true.
Yep.
they're used to it.
So my story comes to us from France, from a woman named again, this is going to be me butchering pronunciations again. You're all welcome.
Same.
So Jeanne de Clisson,
C'est la vie.
indeed.
Sure.
So Jeanne de Clisson was born in Brittany in 1300. So for those that did not pay attention during geography, I know I fucking didn't. Brittany at the time was right next door to France. So you had France, and then the little thing on top of it was Brittany. So that's where this story takes place. It's important for the story as well because this is 1300. This does take place during the 100 Years' War, so that's going to come into play too. So yeah, born in Brittany, born in Brittany, 1300. Her parents were decently well off. There's mixed reviews about who her father was, apparently, but essentially they ended up giving her away in marriage, as was the tradition at the time. She was 12, but anyway,
As was the tradition.
as was tradition. So she was 12. Her husband was 19. Essentially, they gave her up for marriage to a person of means, and in return, they got land. So they got a wife. Her parents got land. Her parents are out of the story from here on out. So she now have 2 kids with her first husband. She was 26. Her first husband dies. There's that. So he did have a castle, or I'm sorry, that's the next guy. She was 26.
Different guy.
Yep, there's a few. So stick with me here. So
She's after the sea baguette.
well, it was all very wholesome except for the whole 12 years old part. But she's 26 at this point, though.
I
So it's fine.
can't pass up
Yeah.
saying baguette.
Oh, I get it. Anyway, so she was 26-year-old. Her husband dies. She meets a dude named Olivier the Fourth. Olivier the Fourth de Clisson was a Breton noble.
Wait, croissant?
Clisson.
Croissant.
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 Croissant. I went
Have
to
you
the
guys-
store.
have you guys seen that
for
video?
a croissant.
Where, like-
Croissant.
Deburger.
Are you referring to what I'm referring to?
I think maybe.
Okay.
Where's the 2 guys and they're going back and forth and they're going croissant,
Croissant.
croissant.
Yep, that's it. So, anyways, so Olivier was pretty well off. He actually, so her being 26 and already having 2 kids and now not having a husband kind of fucking sucked. 1300s. It wasn't a good time for her. Or I'm sorry, the 1400s was not a good time for her. Thankfully, she met Olivier. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. There was another guy in the middle of this too, but because she was older and had kids, the family had a lot of money and paid the Pope to annul the marriage. And so anyway, she found Olivier, who was a noble. Like I said, he owned he had a castle in Clisson and a manor in Nats and land in Blaine. These are made up words. It's French. Who cares? Anyways, so she ended up having a couple kids with this dude too. So she has, I think, like 5 kids by this point.
It's all craters in a couple hundred years.
Yeah, craters and deep trenches. So, her and when she got married to Olivier, she also had a marriage agreement with him as well to make sure that her prior kids, her 2 kids that she had with the prior dude, were also taken care of. So her kids were taken care of.
Good for her.
She was taken care of. Everything was good. She was doing pretty good.
So you better sign this.
Yeah, honestly though, yeah, she got the opposite of a prenup.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we're taken care of. Fast forward a bit to 1341. So 1341, she's 41. The Duke of Brittany dies with no successor. This launches what's called the Britain War of Succession. Again, this taking place during the 100 Years' War. So at the time, the 100 Years' War had been put on, was in the process of wrapping up again. You had France and England, 100 years. That's the whole name. Anyways, the point of it is that whoever was going to rule Britain was going to have power to influence either side or help either side. So either the French or the English. Her husband Olivier decided to sign up with the French side. So he was like, okay, I'm going to support the French in on this War of Succession. Hopefully they'll take over and everything will be good, and I'll have money and power and everything's gonna be great. Well, it wasn't great. So he ended up taking a castle. The house gets taken back from him by the English. He gets captured. Blah blah blah. So back then, if you were a noble and you were captured, you were ransomed. So you were able to be sold back to your country of origin for money. Well, for some strange reason, his ransom was super light. Like, he was ransomed back for very, very little money, even though it should have been infinitely more, which caused a bit of suspicion. So we were like, why did this dude get back here for so little money? Did he betray us? Is he was he a spy? Is he a witch?
Is he which?
Maybe he was just really annoying.
He could have been.
Just get $5. Get this kid.
outta here.
Get
Get
this
the fuck outta
fucking
here.
kid out of here.
Hell yeah.
Just ask him for $5. I don't care.
We'll pay you to take him.
Yep. So after his release, the King of France, Philip, also, I'm sorry, there was also a break in the 100 Years' War. So 100 Years' War got put on pause. And the French King, Philip, were like, hey, I want to have a tournament in France. You should totally come, Olivier. That'd be cool if you came to France and came to this tournament that I'm hosting in France that I want you to be at. in France. So Olivier
Just for
goes.
fun.
Yeah, for funsies.
Just for funsies.
So
Be a great time.
Olivier goes, and as soon as he lands in France, he gets captured and put in prison because suspicious.
You fool.
Yeah, honestly though,
He fell for a roof.
I thought I was coming just to have a good time. I
He
feel so
was-
attacked.
he was.
What the hell is
was.
a Princess Bride? You fell for a ruse, or what the hell does he say?
Oh, it's been a while since I watched that movie.
You know
That
what I'm
sounds
ta-
right though.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I
I think ruse is wrong, but you know the scene.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
So he gets arrested, put in jail, and he's going to be put to death. Is essentially what's going to happen. Like they say that he betrayed his people. They want to be put. They want to kill him. His wife finds out. So we're going back to our homegirl Jean. She's like, "What the fuck? My husband's done where with all these damn kids?
Absolutely not.
No way.
I found the one
Absolutely
good
not.
man in France, and you fucking captured him. Hell no. Hell no.
Right, this man taking care of me and my kids. You gonna take him from me?
You know how long it take me to find him? I was 12 the first time I was married. Goddamn it.
Right, she's 41 with 5 whole ass kids. The fuck you mean?
I am not going to start dating again.
DJ's channeling some shit from the past. I'm not sure I want him to dig up. Fuck.
Dig deeper, it's fine.
I feel her pain right now.
He knows. He knows.
Who gonna take care of all these damn kids? So,
He's dated a single mom or two in his day.
I'm just wondering who DJ was betrothed to when he was 12.
we're gonna move past this. We're gonna move past this because there are stories.
Anyway,
Anyways, who gonna take care of all these kids? So,
little Tommy needs braces.
so she goes to France and she tries to bribe the king's sergeant for his release. So essentially, she was trying to get anybody to help her out, anybody to help release her husband, so they could pretty much leave and go back to Britain. Anywhere other than being in France essentially was the goal. It didn't work. So not only did the bribe not work, the sergeant also told the king that she tried to bribe him, and now she has a warrant out for her arrest too. So not only is he in jail, she's now on the run from the police, essentially, or whatever the police would be in this time period. So,
The Musketeers.
and there were more than 3 of them. So she escapes, and her husband is put into a mock trial. Didn't have a chance. He gets his head chopped off because it's France, and that's what they like to
That's
do.
how they
Damn.
roll. Literally.
That backfired.
Yep,
Yeah.
did not go well for anybody involved. So
Sucker loop.
pretty much. So Jean de Clisson,
Croissant.
Croissant.
You gotta like crumble it at the beginning.
Curly bread.
So not only did Olivier get beheaded, they then displayed his body in France, like just strung his body and just displayed it in France, and then sent his head back on a pike to be displayed in Brittany. So yeah, and again, like I did think
They're pissing her off at this point.
it's not going to go well for them. We're going to get to that here in a minute.
All right.
So the head makes it back to Brittany, and his head's on a stick, and it's been on a stick for a few weeks.
Oh, God.
So his head started to do that whole decomposing thing with bugs and shit. And
Turning into a croissant
yeah,
on a
And-
stick.
on his stick. God. Oh, we just all showed our age.
Yeah, I didn't know that you could do it in French though. On a stick.
Exactly. So Jane takes her 2 youngest kids to see as the riding head of their dad. So like
That's one way for closure.
that's one way to get pissed.
Yeah, well, that
so
too.
she's showing her like, hey, because this is what the king of France did to your father. I got an idea. So
And these poor kids are like, Daddy?
This is just reminding me of Oversimplified when they do the Russian Revolution, and it's just the dude's head in the bed.
like, hey, dude, he's right there. He's gonna help us out.
Boy,
Oh, that part.
yeah, it's,
people.
your grandfather has a mild case of being blown up by a terrorist.
These people are ungrateful. Oh, jeez. Oversimplifies this stuff.
God bless Oversimplified.
Agreed. So, anyways, So Jean shows the kids this beheaded dad. She then comes up with a brilliant plan on how to get revenge. So this is where the story goes in her favor a lot. So what she does is she sells off her entire estate. So I mentioned earlier what Olivier had. He had a castle, he had a manor, he had land. She sold all of it because essentially Philip from France was going to try to take it anyways. So she decided to sell it before he could
Might as
take
well
it.
get the money for it.
And she did.
Yeah.
To add on to that, she took that money and hired an army of 400 people.
Hell yeah, she did.
So
Yep.
our girl Jean and her 400 soldiers decided to march on the Chateau de Tofu.
Chateau de Tofu.
That's how I spelled it.
It's not a real country and it never has been. My Lord.
House of Tofu. Yeah, I think I've been there.
Army of the croissant.
It's a great vegan place.
The army,
Obviously.
the army of the croissant meets the army of the tofu. And go.
So what ended up happening was because Jean was known as a noble woman and a woman that was loyal to Philip, she went up to the castle gates and did her best acting she ever did in her life of "I'm a helpless woman. Please help me. Oh no. Oh, woe is me."
I'm so poor and alone, and I'm a widow.
Yep, damsel in distress it
Help me.
straight up.
I have all these kids.
Right? Who gonna take all the damn kids?
Say, call an ambulance, but not for me.
Honestly, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So they open the castle gates because the captain of the castle recognized her. He's like, "Okay, I know who you are. Come on in. I will help you out as best we can." And again, like you just stated, call an ambulance, but not for me. And the 400 men under her command stormed the castle and killed everybody.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Except for one person, who was then left with a message to go back to Philip and said, "I'm coming for that ass."
Yes. Yes.
So Jade keeps doing this. Like she keeps going to castle. She took a few castles on that border area.
She's got her handkerchief and she's like,
Oh,
please let me in.
Oh, woe was me. Oh no, help you. It just starts killing people. Well, the best part, like the thing that she keeps doing though, the one constant theme throughout this entire story is she leaves one person alive to go tell the king what she's doing.
Of course she does.
Because I mean, you killed her man. The fuck you mean? It's great.
So this is a message.
And a very loud one.
Yep.
So she again keeps taking garrisons, and she eventually makes her way to the Normandy coast. So the coast of France that she just keeps taking castles along it. So she's starting to gain some territory, and well, not really keeping it. She just kills them all, and she's like, "Oh, the ocean's right there. That's pretty tight." And then she captures some ships and makes her own navy. So
Captures the ocean.
Yes. She's like, well, there's no castles left.
right.
I got to capture something.
Right, like this water looks cool. Mine. So she ends up capturing a few cargo ships and then converting them to warships. What she does though is she repaints the ships. So all the ships that she takes, I think 3. She takes 3 ships, paints them all black.
Yes.
And then dyes the sails red.
Yes.
So she's out there gangbanging at this point.
Yes.
Like,
she is. She's repping them colors.
Yeah, and she starts just raiding the coast, more of the coastline of France. So if there's a ship, a merchant ship, or any kind of ship that's leaving or going to France, she's taking it, but doesn't rob them. She just kills everybody, except for one person.
She's pissed.
And she was also known to carry a very large battle axe into battle.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh.
And was known for beheading every noble that she found on those ships.
Yes, girl.
It was a whole thing. She's pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to be her for Halloween.
You should. Yeah. Her nickname became the Lioness of Brittany. Yes. So, you know, it's pretty sweet. So she keeps doing this for quite some time. She's just capturing ships, killing nobles, and sending the message back to King Philip. Eventually, England finds out about this. So, like, England and France have been, like, they're on a kind of a temporary truce, if you will. She's out there just being a pirate, which is cool. So, the King of England starts sending her money. She's like, here, have some money to help fund this, whatever you're doing out there.
Please don't hurt us.
That is an English and French tradition as old as time.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, we have several pirate episodes about that.
I just meant the money. Oh, you're fighting them right now? Here you go.
Honestly, I mean, that's how we got America.
Yeah. Oh, you're fighting them? Here you go. Just back and forth, back and forth.
So England was funding her. She's still out there fucking up the shipping for France. Unfortunately, the French military did get wise to her tactics, raised a sizable enough navy, and destroyed her fleet.
Oh man.
However, she didn't get captured. So in the middle of the battle, she escaped on a smaller ship. It's like, oh, this is going poorly for me.
I wouldn't like go near that lady with the axe. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm not
seriously.
fucking trying to
She
capture
has
her.
a giant axe that she used to behead people.
Like, you
I don't
fucking
want no part of
capture
that.
her. Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the last thing I need. Also,
They're
she-
like drawing straws as to who has to.
I don't know why I kept forgetting to miss this too. She was also a redhead. So like, yeah, it's
Yes.
a redheaded woman with a giant battle axe that's chopping off people's heads. I don't want no part of that
No.
shit.
Yeah.
With all these damn
No.
kids.
That
Yeah,
tracks.
okay. Sure.
Yeah, she's got all these
capture her.
kids behind her,
Right.
and they all have tiny battle axes.
All of this tracks.
Just going around stabbing people with little
Right.
knives, like stabbing people in the ankles.
Yep.
Right. So
They're
a
all
redheaded
redheaded.
woman, obviously. All these redheaded children with battle axes.
Telling
Yeah.
her kids that all humans are pinatas. Get the presents.
Honestly, if they're French, it was pretty much what the message was. I feel like that was kind of just par for the course for her.
Yep.
So she ended up escaping. She ended up being stranded in the ocean for a few days, unfortunately, with no food or water. But because God hates the French, apparently, she lives and lands on the beaches of England. So
damn.
I was waiting for you to say that she was a previous tenant of Napoleon's Island. When he got exiled. That's what,
she's just there with an axe.
that's what I was waiting for.
She's an old lady with an axe looking at Napoleon like, you son of a bitch. Like, where's that accent from? And like the noise from Kill Bill starts playing.
Right?
The siren. There it is. Siren Kill Bill starts
I was
playing.
like, yeah, when Napoleon gets her 500 years later, just finds the lioness was here, like carved into a tree trunk.
Oh, God. That'd be so terrifying. So like I said, 1348, her army was, her navy was destroyed. She does escape to England at least. And she was like, you know what? I've killed a lot of people. I'm good. So she retires. So she,
Oh, okay.
Just sitting with the kids, she's like, "That was crazy, right? That was a crazy couple of years."
This is what we call an episode.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it, I think it was almost 7 years of her just killing people.
She takes a drag off a cigarette. She's like, I told you kids, mommy didn't need therapy.
Murder is her antidepressant.
Yep. Chopping off the heads of nobles, and yeah, that's about right. So she, like I said, she lands in England. She's there for a while. She retires. She's like, you know what? I've done enough. At the age of 59, she ends up getting married again. And has 2 more children.
Jesus.
Yeah, she married
Wow.
an English knight, and I'm sorry, she died at 59.
Oh, shit.
She did. Well, it's fucking 1400s.
Yeah, I
So
That was probably a ripe old age.
She was
1400s.
fucking tired.
After
Like-
killing all those nobles and having all them damn kids, yes.
Yeah.
Because she did have 2 more kids with this English knight. That
I
she
wonder if
meets.
he knew about her.
Oh, he had to.
I'm
have.
sure.
Dude, the lioness of Brittany. You can't have that kind of name, and not everybody knows you.
She's
The
like,
fuck?
Yeah.
she's like, you think killing all these nobles and taking all these castles is hard? Try raising these damn kids.
Right.
They have axes and
All of
self-awareness.
them.
They need a stepdaddy.
Right. 'Cause I think
Imagine
by
that
this
Tinder
point-
bio.
Oh, jeez. Do you hate the French? Can you handle a woman fiercely independent with
Single
a giant
mom.
with a giant battle axe?
I like to go axe throwing.
Again, do you hate the French? Asked it a few times throughout the fucking bio. So yeah, she
Feisty redheaded single mom looking for a stepdaddy
who also hates the
who
French.
also hates the French.
Yeah, died in 1359, and she I think had like 2 more. She had like 7 or 8 kids, 9 kids.
Damn.
But yeah, she's still pretty good. But yeah, she retired. She actually
That's awesome.
just lived out the rest of her life chilling.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Piracy is not known for its 401k plans.
No, neither is beheading nobles.
Yeah, that either.
It's usually doesn't end well for you.
I feel like the few people that piracy has ended well for have been women.
I'm thinking about Anne Bonny, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, no.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of what's her name? The Asian Pirate
the
queen.
Chinese.
What's her name?
The Chinese pirate queen.
Yes. She retired too.
She did retire.
Yeah.
With a very young man, if my memory serves. We did an episode about that.
We sure did.
We did an episode about
and
that.
she basically like pirated for a while, and then she was like, "All right, I'm done."
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then
Because her
just
husband
chilled.
died, and she took over for her husband, and she was like, "You know what? I got it.
Yeah.
It's fine." Yeah, I was thinking about the other ones, like the European women pirates.
yeah.
That
they didn't do so well.
That did not. I mean, one of them kind of. Go back and listen to the episode. If you guys
Yeah.
don't know what we're
Well,
talking about, we have
yeah.
like 2 episodes on pirates.
I say, I mean, yeah, with Europe, you're dealing with the English Navy. That's the big.
Well, they needed a giant battle axe, apparently.
Like, well, no, I'm saying like that's you're fighting a Goliath.
That's true.
But
But you need a giant battle axe.
yeah,
Apparently, you need a giant battle axe and have
Everybody needs a
a
giant battle
issue with the
Right.
French.
Yeah, my way of saying you're not getting away from that.
See,
if
she
you're engaged in
wasn't-
piracy in the Atlantic.
She wasn't fueled by like she wanted money or she wanted land or power. She was fueled by being really pissed,
Just fucking mad.
and I think that's why she.
And I
succeeded.
respect that.
Yeah.
I gotta respect that hustle.
That's why she.
You killed her man, left her with all them damn kids.
Don't do it.
You gotta go.
Don't do it.
Well, if you're not after money, it makes it very hard to predict.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
With all them damn kids. Anyways, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That was great.
Thank you. I feel like it was balance on that one.
Yeah.
And I wanted to end with DJ's story just because of like the amount of dick jokes we're about to make.
it's
so
my
excited.
favorite Robin
Yeah.
Williams moment.
So
And honestly, like we might even have to do like its own episode because there's so many
That
details.
just always happen with your
Like,
stories.
Yeah, it was just I went deep. I watched the series on Amazon. We're gonna talk about Lorena Bobbitt's. This was in 1993. You guys might have heard of this. Maybe you remember it. I was a kid, so I don't really fucking remember like when it happened because I was 4.
I just remember all the jokes,
I remember all the jokes.
the TV shows, and
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was
and not understanding them. But
yeah.
Yeah.
This was like I said, 1993, and this is in Manassas, Virginia. And it's spelled really funny. When I read it, I was like, "This is man-asses." Okay.
I would give anything to read one of your book reports when you were a kid.
You just hear me in the back, like just fucking wheezing.
Still somehow has all the tattoos.
And he was born in Mississippi, which is coincidentally very hard to spell.
Whenever I imagine like tiny child DJ, he still has tattoos. I can't.
The mustache and tattoos,
Yeah.
the glasses.
Yeah. It's just you, but small.
A child with street cred.
With one of those
Kinda,
spinny
little
top
bit.
hats.
With the helicopter hat.
Yeah. With the helicopter
yeah.
hat.
So she was married to a fellow named John Wayne Bobbitts. And if you can't tell by that name right off the bat, it kind of like spells domestic violence right there.
Well, John
Well,
Wayne.
whenever they include the middle name, it's just going to be
It's
bad.
usually pretty bad.
Yeah,
It's going to be bad.
Yeah. So one night they kind of I don't know if I should get too much into like the pre-story before it, but they had an abusive relationship. John goes out with his friends one night. He has a couple drinks. To be specific, he had a couple shots. They're called B-52s, which from my understanding isn't a strong shot, but a shot regardless. He claims to have a couple beers, a couple shots with friends, comes home that night. And his side of the story is completely different than Lorena's, of course, but his
Imagine that.
yeah.
Call me OJ. Imagine that.
So he basically comes home, passes out. Like he claims not blackout drunk, but he was blackout drunk. He claims to have some type of sexual relations with his wife Lorena, and then he wakes up and he's bleeding all over his crotch. In the middle of the night, Lorena had basically claimed that John came home blackout drunk, had sexually assaulted her, and then fell asleep. So in the middle of the night, she wakes up to get some water, and she opens the fridge, and from her testimony, she says she saw a glimmer of light off of an 8-inch carving knife in the kitchen, and it just like clicked in her head. She's like, I'm taking that dick.
I was just saying, I'm going to get that dick.
This is why we ended with this. Because the amount of dick jokes we're about to make is just,
Yep.
Not what it usually means. I'm going to get that dick.
Yeah.
yeah, usually it's something good. This time it's not.
So Lorena goes back into bed, starts fondling John to get him a little erect, and then removes his penis with the 8-inch carving knife.
Just shing.
In the documentary, it's really funny because like when all the surgeons and all the doctors are involved, everybody's laughing when they're telling the story. Like they can't help it. They just can't help. Like every time they describe like the medical term for
That's
the surgery and all that stuff, like they're just like giggling. Like they can't fucking help it. They're like he might have to pee for the rest of his life.
Well, the medical term for this is trying to re-willy.
I imagine something involving eunuchs, and I can't find it right now. I just can't find the terminology. I'll get back to you.
So Lorena Bobbitt removes his penis, and obviously she's like, "Oh fuck! Like I got to get out of here," because he's still passed out at this point. He did not wake
Wow.
up during
That
this.
did not wake him up.
Still,
I've never drank that much in my life.
And this is the
He just
know how
had a
you
couple
fucking could.
shots
Yeah,
and that didn't wake him up.
and this all comes out in the court afterwards because the court case goes back and forth so many times because they both get put on trial for different things during this. So she basically takes his what little piece of there's pictures of it. It's hilarious. It's a little acorn,
Little guy.
with a red dress on,
Well, I mean,
she took out the midsection.
the dude was a piece of shit. So obviously his dick could not have
Yeah,
been
it
substantial.
wasn't
No.
it wasn't flattering.
No.
So she takes
Well, she had to like work him around a little bit
Yeah.
to get enough to.
and the doctors.
Work
That's what I
him
was
around
gonna,
a little bit.
That's what I was gonna say. The
I
doctor.
get it. It's just a funny term.
She rustled his jimmies.
Exactly.
It's what Brandy's trying to say.
The doctors actually said in the documentary that she actually did really good removing the penis.
Oh, good for her.
They're like, it's pretty
She like
clean cut.
watched
You
a
would make
YouTube
a
tutorial
great-
first.
You would make a great intern.
Once I remember all the other terms I know, like Russell Jimmy's, like he raised his frothy dander. Jeez.
So Lorena decides she takes John Wayne's dick and his Game Boy.
And his
Yeah.
damn, the
Yeah.
two most important things to this
Oh
man.
my god, this is
I
aging.
mean, like,
This is aging the story so much.
Yeah.
It
too.
really is.
It's like a
I
thief
don't
in the
remember the
night.
Game Boy
She just
part.
fucking
I don't remember the Game Boy part.
I don't remember that either.
yeah.
But that's
truly
hilarious.
didn't know anything about the story other than she cut his dick off.
Yeah.
Like I just
Oh, man,
I knew
yeah.
the highlights and the joke
it's
behind
crazy.
it.
And like I'm
and-
surprised
yeah.
they didn't make a comedy movie of this. Like
Yeah.
nobody grabbed this and was like, we need to make a movie
But this
of this.
story
you know?
is told on like every single true crime podcast in like existence. So
amazing.
I've definitely heard this story a
Oh
lot.
god, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So like a thief in the night, she takes his dick, his Game Boy. and just,
What do you mean like a thief in the night?
he didn't wake up. She did pretty good. All right.
I'm not disputing that.
just saying.
She was the thief in the night.
It's just so funny how you're describing it like she just like yoink.
It's like everything is Lego. So
Yeah.
So she's driving with his fucking penis, and she's like, while she's driving, she's like, I don't want this fucking thing, and she fucking
She just like gets really grossed out halfway through her drive. She's like, oh god.
literally she was like,
I mean-
and she fucking with her left hand, she describes this perfectly. She like fucking lobs it over the car.
Yeah.
With her left hand goes that side.
Yep.
Can you
And then
imagine like you're driving down the road, you get hit. Your car
she's just smoking a cigarette, just like
you get,
the hell is that?
you get mushrooms stamped at a bus stop, just waiting to go into your night shift, and everybody goes having a cigarette goes, what the fuck?
She actually
I'm
tossed
going
it.
home. I'm going the
it
fuck
hits, like,
home.
Nobody's gonna believe me.
Right. I'm going home. Or no, like I was in like my windshield. Like imagine like you're driving to like the next lane over and it's like your windshield is
It's a guy who's had just like a really bad day already. And he's
Obviously.
like, man, can things get any worse?
oh no.
Oh my god! No, actually, wait. You know, it was somebody yawning.
God damn.
I'm going home.
Going
I'm going home. And I'm not telling anybody about this. Like I'm not,
Hell no.
I don't tell nobody about
It
this.
was a gummy worm for the millionth time.
We'll have to. I don't know if we should post a picture of it, but it's funny.
I don't think we
You
can.
guys can look it up.
Yeah, I think we'll skip.
Yeah, I think we're gonna skip
I
that one,
almost
dude.
fucking
skip
took a
that
picture
one.
when I was watching the documentary just to show you guys, but I didn't.
I'm okay.
So she fucking, throws that dick like a fucking Nerf ball. Just launches it.
Yeah,
She has,
the
depending
whistling
what
one.
side of the street she was
just
on, she threw
yeets
it
it.
pretty far because it landed near a 7-Eleven in like some tall grass.
Dude, so you mean to tell me that she
course.
fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
Oh,
skyhooked
yeah,
this
she
damn
was
thing?
It landed near
This fucking
7-Eleven.
skyhooked this
Like
fucking
one of those whistling Nerf balls.
Now, if you see this lady, she's fairly attractive, and she's from Ecuador. So don't mess with fucking Latin women, man.
Nope.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't fucking do it, man.
Don't cut your dick off.
After she throws the penis, she goes to her work at this nail salon, and her boss that she's been working for forever, she's like, I just cut this dude's dick off. She's like, I gotta tell somebody.
you
Wait,
will
this is
not.
crazy.
You will not believe what I did last night.
It's like, 'cause, like she like clocked in for her shift for this shit.
Yes. Well, she's a nail tech.
Yeah, she's a nail tech.
They can't
Yeah.
keep their mouths shut.
A nail
yeah.
tech from Ecuador.
They can't.
If it
No way.
happened today, there would be a selfie with the disembodied dick and a hashtag saying "Hot Girl Summer."
Now,
I
meanwhile,
firmly believe it.
She literally clocked into work and she was like, "Girl."
so like while all this is happening, John Wayne does wake up, and one of John Wayne's friends was actually staying the night, and
Did she tourniquet him or anything?
no,
or
nothing.
nothing.
He woke up bleeding like a fucking stuck pig, and when he
I
woke
didn't even
up,
think about that till just now. All the alcohol in the
That's
system
really
and everything else.
Yeah,
That's
he-
really surprising that he did wake up. Honestly.
Yeah.
he lost a lot of blood too, and I'll get to
Yeah.
that point. But he wakes up basically with a bloody mess on his crotch, and he doesn't even realize his penis is gone. He basically wakes his friend up. He's like, "We got to go." And his friend was even like really like in the documentary. They were like he actually like took time to get ready. Like he didn't leave right away.
Oh my God.
He's like, "It's cool, dude. You just fucking bleeding a little bit, whatever, dude."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I think something's wrong." Like he's like fucking trying to like.
So did she
Where's
like
it
did she like put his pants back on him or something?
Oh god.
Oh no, he woke up like
He woke up
'cause-
and just like pulled his pants
yeah,
up or
because he
something.
claims they had sex that night and
Okay.
he fell asleep and woke up
Yeah,
dickless.
yeah. Sure,
You know.
sure.
Where is he?
Where is
Where is he?
So he rushes to the hospital, and Lorena like didn't hide this at all. She turns herself in. She's like, "Yeah, I cut
did
that
it.
dick."
I'd do it again.
I cut that
Anybody
dick.
else?
I do it again. Pull it out.
And he goes to the hospital, right? And they get this microsurgeon that's basically like, "I can fix this, but we need that dick."
There's just like a janitor at that 7-Eleven
I just,
who was just
wait.
like,
This is like
I'm
one
just
of the funniest
imagining.
parts.
I'm just imagining the flyers going up on the
"Have you
telephone.
seen
Have you seen
this
this
dick?"
dick?
See this dick?
You're just on the beat. You're a cop, and you get like the call. They're like, "Hey, are you
Got an
near, are you
APB
near
out.
that 7-Eleven on 5th?"
He's like, "Man, no, every time I go, I don't want to go there. Every time I go there, something weird happens."
So they
APB out for a missing dick.
they send a couple police officers and this other lady who was like a detective out.
Did they get ice from the 7-Eleven?
They find the dick, right? And
They put it in a Slurpee.
The only
I'm just. You gotta preserve the dick.
they were at ice, so they just got like a blue Slurpee and just like
Yeah, they put an APD.
the first thing the cop thought to put the dick in at the 7-Eleven was what they call a crunch box, which is basically what you put the hot dogs in when you get a hot dog at the gas
Yes.
station. So I mean, they
sure,
use the
it's the
proper
right
vessel.
shape. Yeah.
A little too big for it, But, so they wrap his shit
Well,
up.
it was recircumcised, so you'll have that.
So they get the the hot dog wrap fucking dick, take it back to the hospital.
They wrap it in that paper.
And they put chili cheese on the device. And like, oh,
hot
force
dog,
have it.
there's nacho cheese on the side.
Oh shit! Force have it. My
I
bad, my
was
bad.
gonna say, sorry, force the habit.
So actually, they're able to reattach his penis. And the surgeon basically tells him, he's like, "Look, it's going to take a couple of years before we even know if this is going to work, And thus begins the whole fucking court process.
The surgeon needs to be paid more.
Yeah, that dude was way too happy to tell his story. on the
Dude, that guy
documentary.
was laughing during the whole surgery.
He was.
I mean, first of all, if I could reattach a fucking severed dick, I'm a pretty good surgeon. I'm just saying. I'm bragging about it.
There's an episode.
Hours and hours after something was separated from the body.
Exactly. Like, that's a pretty damn good surgeon. I'm just
Yeah,
putting it out
pretty
there.
good.
There's an episode of Grey's Anatomy where a victim basically bites off her attacker's dick, and they bring him in to be treated, and the doctors have to like reattach it, and they're all like, do we though? Like, do we really have to? Like, can we just
Whoops,
like
drop my scalpels again.
exactly.
No, but I'm all thumbs.
Of all thumbs today.
Butterfingers today.
Oh, jeez.
So they reattach the penis, and then becomes this huge court case. Now there's two cases going on. There is now a sexual assault case against John Wayne, and then there's the case of the Dick Bandit, which is Lorena.
Also, when it's all about it, like I said, a Grey's Anatomy is John's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Carry on.
And this is 93, pre-internet, pre-social media, so this fucking blows up on the news. Comedians go crazy. Everyone's looking for interviews.
Yep.
Everybody wants the first interview from John. Everybody wants the first interview from Lorena. And I believe, it was not The View. I forgot what magazine actually got the first interview with Lorena. But like in the documentary, it was funny because the photographer that was there, they did like a full-on modeling shoot of her.
Oh my god!
Like her bathing suit in
well, yeah,
the
you
pool.
said she was hot, right?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
like this attractive Latin lady. And she basically tells her story, And now the problem with this in Virginia, the law with the sexual assault case, because they were married, anything before 5 days of the actual crime, they weren't considering. So the jurors weren't to consider the 4 years of marriage and abuse that she went through, all the things leading up to this. And her case, she needed to prove basically criminally insane, that she had so much PTSD that she couldn't help herself from doing this. So her case wasn't looking so good because there was no witnesses to help corroborate anything, and they couldn't do any rape tests. Sexual assault test kits. To like,
Bleep that out.
yeah, please. They couldn't because they only had a 5-day window. And so she was like, "How am I supposed to do this?" Somewhere towards the end of the trial, one of her customers at the nail salon comes forward. She tells a story that she's getting her nails done by Lorena, and she sees all the bruises on Lorena's arm, and she's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And Lorena just opens up to her. She's like, "My husband's, been beating me up, all this other stuff."
I'm telling you, those nail techs, they can't keep their mouth shut.
Yeah.
They talk. I used to do nails, I know.
Yep. And because of that, now they have a witness, so she was able to get off criminally insane,
Wow.
which was actually pretty cool.
I feel like you do have to be a little insane to do that in the first place. Like, you can't be in your right mind
Little
doing
bit.
that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Like-
and when she...
Like, when dudes say they want to date a crazy chick, I'm just like,
yeah. Now, this is what was messing her up, because when
I
she...
don't get
So,
that.
no friend of mine.
When she first gets arrested, the first statement she gave police was that she did it because he never made her have an orgasm. That was like her main reason.
Run that back again.
That he had never.
No, the whole thing.
The reason that she originally cut his penis off was because that he never gave her an orgasm before.
And who's saying this?
Lorena.
Oh,
this
The
was
Dick
her
Bandit.
original reason.
okay, that's what. Okay, I did hear it the right way. I thought I didn't.
Honey, you
I
and everybody
apologize.
else. Come on.
I
So
apologize.
this messed her up in court for a while, like to where this was like the big problem because they were like, "This is what you said," and she was like, "Yeah, but I was
like,
doing
"I was
nails. I threw the dick.
joking."
There was a hot dog. Like
Right.
it all happened so fast.
Life goes out quick. So it was a dick out of a window.
Now John has a really interesting afterwards because he gets his penis reattached and then he kind of goes into hiding. He moves and gets hired on this dude ranch.
he turtled up real quick. I'm sure.
He moves to this dude ranch, become a rancher basically, and then at some point he decides, I'm fucking done hiding. I want to do porno, and he actually makes 2 porn films.
I'm just
Okay,
so he went to a dude ranch. So I'm just saying, years of him riding the saddle, just going, ow, ow, ow.
I was gonna say I can.
Or he's like, I don't feel anything.
Wouldn't it be? pretty painful, like especially during the healing process. Like,
I mean, definitely if she cut his balls off.
Fortunately for John, after 2 years, he did get like full functionality of his penis.
well,
And apparently it wasn't that bad of a job. It didn't look too bad, you know. So the first film he does was actually filmed by Ron Jeremy, and it's called The Story of John Wayne Uncut.
out of here.
And
Even though he was such a piece of shit, I gotta give credit for that name.
it did really well. It actually sold in the first,
Well,
I believe
yeah,
the
of
first week,
course.
it sold 44,000 copies, which is
That is hysterical.
Yeah, of course it is. It's basically sexual tourism.
yeah. And John kind of blows up a little bit after this. Now he gets his notoriety. He's doing interviews. He's on like Sally, Jesse, you know,
Also
doing
with
all these
chlamydia.
like classic 90s talk shows, you know.
That's so funny.
And he decides to do his second film. But now he's kind of got little head of about him, and he wants to do a second surgery on his penis, a penis enlargement surgery.
Oh no.
Now, this second film was called Frankenpenis.
Oh my god.
I mean, it is right there. It is right there.
Now, the caveat to all this is John.
I hate this story.
I'm stuck between love and hate. This is the most white trash.
Now, John has a second surgery, and it mangles his penis.
The irony.
So that he's left like that for life. Second film doesn't do good. He kind of goes downhill after that. He actually goes to.
So you would say it just starts.
It's a rapid decrease. He goes from midnight to 6.
A deflation.
That's what happens.
A deflation in its popularity is what you're saying. I'm not sharing this one with family.
His fame,
We're okay for 3/4 of
his
it.
fame starts to shrink a bit.
A little bit.
Now, later on down the road, he actually gets a job at this ranch you guys might have heard of in Vegas called the Bunny Ranch.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And he does really bad there. He drinks a lot. The girls fucking hate him. The guy that
They're like,
owns the
damn,
ranch,
we know why she cut off his penis.
he has kind of a little following behind him because in the news, you got to understand, this is like one of the first cases where women are like, this is a revenge story because nobody, every time a sexual assault case comes out, it's pretty much just blown over. You know what I mean? Like nobody's being heard. So now it's like, everyone's like, fuck yeah. Like it starts like a whole
Because
fucking
she
movement.
did what
you know?
probably hundreds of women wish they could have
Yeah,
done.
exactly. And she got away with it, you know.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people backing John. Like Howard Stern did a whole segment on him where he had John on and they had people donate money and the meter was like a penis that would get bigger as the more people donated money.
No sentence you just said was a surprise.
but it did hurt a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John ends up getting with one of the girls at the Bunny Ranch. They move somewhere, I believe in LA. She rents an apartment for him. A couple of years go by. She realizes he's a piece of shit. Because even when he was married to Lorena, one of the many reasons she did what she did was he was a bum. You know, he didn't work. He was on unemployment. Her nail salon was like supporting everything. They lost their house to foreclosure because he wasn't paying bills, things like that, you know. So John ends up not doing so well in the end. You know, he gets really sick. He ends up getting some more things amputated, like toes.
Oh, diabetic?
Yeah, he ends up getting diabetes and just having a really, really terrible. I believe he's still alive. He has a pretty terrible rest of his life, you know.
So far.
Yeah.
I mean, the person's pretty old by this point.
No. So Lorena was 24 when she did this, and John was only 26.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he was 26 back in 93.
93.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, he's probably,
I guess it depends on what you consider pretty old.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, I mean, what?
So
50s, 60s,
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
probably 60s,
Yeah.
you know, something like that right now.
roughly?
I didn't even bother looking into like if he's still alive or anything like that, you know.
yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it's
I
not- who
really
cares,
don't.
you
Yeah,
know?
whatever.
Yeah.
We got what we needed out of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
And Lorena ended up remarrying. She ended up being an advocate for, you know, domestic violence, doing speeches, you know, writing a book, being
As
on
you do.
TV, all this other stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, damn.
Pretty
Yeah.
hilarious.
This is just making me think that we should have done Tanya Harding.
Oh,
I'm just having the 90s flashbacks now with all the Lorena Bobbitt stuff. And like, should that, right or wrong, should have done Tanya Harding.
I don't
could
know
do
if that was revenge though. That was just kind of like
Jealousy, really.
That
Well,
was-
in her mind, it was, you know.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
that was the.
Have you seen the Margot Robbie movie?
No.
Oh, so good. So good. Makes you want to root for her.
They made a movie about that?
Yeah, it's called I, Tanya. It's
See,
amazing.
That's the danger. Is it Netflix?
No,
Or that's the danger with all these documentaries and whatnot.
it's not a documentary.
Or not.
Margot Robbie plays Tanya Harding.
Not documentary, like
like a biopic?
docudrama, or whatever you put under those umbrellas is like the shifting.
It was a like a biopic.
Okay.
It was like it was all fiction. Like
Okay.
there wasn't a documentary aspect to it at all.
Gotcha.
But it was really good though.
I know what you mean though, Ben, because
Yeah,
you're talking about the whole like all the serial killer ones that they made. Like,
Well, even like the Jean Benet one and whatnot that came out, I watched that, and it's. I mean, I never knew enough about the case, but like you definitely end up.
Like forming an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the
like
end
you're
of
led
it.
to an opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting
what
at.
What was the first docu-series that like really blew up on Netflix with the
Oh,
guy
The
with the really
Murder?
blue eyes? What was it called?
Oh no, I was thinking the Averys.
Yes. 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 That's it.
Isn't it like To Make a Murderer? Or
Yes.
so- or-
Yeah. Making a Murderer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that was basically the example of that, which like I guess the documentary left out so much information that like everyone in the country was convinced that he was innocent before he even went to trial. So
Yeah, poison.
and it was
yeah,
poison.
thanks Netflix.
Yeah.
Potentially poisoning juries
correct. Yeah.
and whatnot. But
So.
beside the point, it's just a thought I've had.
Well, I guess we could wrap this bad boy up then, yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, as long as DJ's on a lot of dick jokes.
Yep, that's it.
Where he can't rise to the occasion.
Hell yeah.
Not here, but in general.
Here.
There it is.
Existentially.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. Anyways, if you made it this far in the episode, we appreciate you giving us a listen. Like I said, this is our third year doing this, so we wouldn't be doing it without you all. So we appreciate it, of course. Give us a like and follow on your favorite social medias and your favorite listening sources of choice. Give Panel Network a listen to as well. They're on everything now too, so that's pretty tight. You can find them on everything. He does like a podcast for everything, so literally, like, there's so much. I don't know. Take a nap or something, dude. Take a vacation. I don't know. Like, I don't. You know. I'm just saying. Anyways.
I don't understand it. God bless, man.
Right, you got it, dude. God got it. Somebody got it. I don't know. Anyways, if you made this far in the episode, we appreciate you giving us a listen. Like I said, give us a like and share. Do all the you know what to do. I don't know.
Do it as a 3rd year anniversary present to us.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, give us a follow. Tell your friends about us. Maybe not your family. We talk a lot about dicks.
Yeah.
And we say the F word a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyways, we appreciate you all though. So thanks. Y'all be cool.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.